Now concerning the collection for the saints, as I have given order to the churches of Galatia, even so do ye. Upon the first day of the week, let every one of you lay by him in store, as God hath prospered him, that there be no gatherings when I come. And when I come, whomsoever ye shall approve by your letters, then will I send to bring you liberality unto Jerusalem. And if it be meet that I go also, they shall go with me. Now I will come unto you, when I shall pass through Macedonia, for I do pass through Macedonia. And it may be that I will abide, yea, and winter with you, that ye may bring me on my journey whithersoever I go. For I will not see you now by the way, but I trust to tarry a while with you, if the Lord permit. But I will tarry at Ephesus until Pentecost. For a great door and effectual is opened unto me, and there are many adversaries. Now Timothy is come. See that he may be with you without fear, for he worketh the work of the Lord, as I also do. Let no man therefore despise him, but conduct him forth in peace, that he may come unto me, for I look for him with the brethren. As touching our brother Apollos, I greatly desired him to come unto you with the brethren, but his will was not at all to come at this time, but he will come when he shall have convenient time. You know, I swear, this is what I read yesterday. Watch ye, stand fast in the faith. Quit you like men. Be strong. Let all your things be done with charity. I beseech you, brethren, ye know the house of Stephanas, that it is the first fruits of a and I even looked that one up today. Achaia. Yes, this is the one I did yesterday, but I'll go ahead and finish it and we'll get done. I apologize for that. And they have addicted themselves to the ministry of the saints, that ye submit yourselves unto such, and to every one that helpeth with us, and laboureth. I am glad of the coming of Stephanus and Fortunatus, and I can't remember how to pronounce that. For that which was lacking on your part they have supplied. For they have refreshed my spirit in yours. Therefore acknowledge ye them that are such. The church of Asia salute you. Aquila and Priscilla salute you much in the Lord, with the church that is in their house. All the brethren greet you. Greet ye one another with a holy kiss. The salutation of me, Paul, with mine own hand. If any man love not the Lord Jesus Christ, let him be anathema, maranatha. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you. My love be with you all in Christ Jesus. Amen. Again, I'm sorry. This is Tuesday, August 19th, 2014. This is your host, Mike Callahan, and this is the Watchman News. And that was me repeating the same Bible chapter that I did yesterday, and I bet I didn't delete a bookmark. No, I didn't add the bookmark. Okay, well, I apologize for that. It happens, but hey, you can never have too many readings of good stuff, huh? Okay, maybe you can. But anyway, let's get let's get going. I am a little bit more set up and ready to go for you tonight. Got a lot of different stuff going on in the world. I've been trying to expand into news and find out what's going on in other places besides just Ferguson. I do have some screens ready and stuff like that. There was a lot of craziness that went on yesterday, and we'll cover that a little bit, but I do have other news of the world for you that I would like to cover. Before we get started with that, as you know, we typically go through Suspicious Observers and see what he has to say for the day, and I do have his ready. And without further ado, we'll check out what Suspicious Observers has to say for the day, and then we'll get on with the news that I have for you. Enjoy.
Good morning, folks. Sticking with our seismic uptick, Iran kept shaking, but the magnitude is unrepresentative of the full readings. These are the readings from the 5.8 we saw on USGS, quite a few in excess of that mark. It's not just earthquakes, but volcanic activity as well. The warnings are raised further in Iceland as alert level orange invokes worries of a repeat of 2010. We also have an unusual event in Indiana where tiny holes are appearing in sandy areas. They keep getting bigger, though, and they're working to ascertain the cause. I'm a little bit more fixed on the fish die-off in Alaska. You know, long before the sea star wasting off the west coast, I was telling everyone I know about Fukushima. This is from 2011. Nobody was listening. Looking back at some of the early work on the animal effects reminds me of waking up. And hopefully this isn't another round of the same, but if so, the USGS who cooperated with us on that polar bear update video may be worth another ring. Earth's energy influx, gamma ray burst last night from the Serpens constellation. The solar flare X-ray and extreme ultraviolet energy was low. The spots are pretty much decaying all over the disk, and chances of bigger events are pretty minuscule. However, you'll remember the filament eruption facing Earth. You'll remember the halo eruption indicating an Earth-directed blast. The CME arrived about 6 hours late in the wee hours of last night with major density, but virtually no enhanced speed or plasma temperature. Consider this an overweight, out-of-breath CME. Too early for geomagnetic effects, but auroras are likely tonight. We've also got eyes on the riometers, so nice to have a working set of these again. Coronal holes north and south won't be as effective as transequatorial openings, but they do have their influence and appear to have some significant power beginning around mid-latitude. Otherwise, it was a quiet day on our star. And speaking of solar quiet, professors and world experts are beginning to recognize the hand we've been dealt. The grand solar minimum, which we watch creep closer on the X-ray flux every day, is becoming more and more of a reality for those in the business. Every day we get a new professor saying so, or a new paper linking the sun to climate change, especially the effects of a grand minima, or demonstrating why the focus on only greenhouse gases has led the IPCC to fail at predicting global temperature variation for nearly 20 years. We see these on macro scales and at local level analyses. Quickly, folks, Mobile Observatory has 3 events lined up in Montana this week. Check observatoryproject.com for details, and for those waiting for the educational materials accompanying the Sun series, they will be ready this week at suspiciousobservers.org. We got 2 buoys in event mode near New Zealand. I'm almost certain that's due to the storm system there. Fairly massive, with the western storm slightly diminished, moderate alerts only. In the United States, we see major northern flows over the southwest and a north-midwest low drawing a strong south-swinging convergence line. That convergence will bring severe alerts throughout the Midwest today, and the flow out west heralds flash flooding for Arizona, Nevada, and Utah. Europe, a low in Greece and to the east, a low south of Italy, and the big one remains up north. That's where we find our storm watches tonight. We've got the rest of the world's thunderstorm warnings along with current global conditions and shots of our star to close. Eyes open. No fear. It's 6:35 a.m. Eastern Time, 4:35 a.m. local time, and that's the news. Be safe, everyone.
All right, that was Suspicious Observers. The link, as always, is down in the About tab. It's always down there. It's a pleasure to be able to show his daily morning broadcast on his show on this show. It's something to always keep an eye on. We never know when we're going to have some type of major event, some type of major CME event. Unfortunately, the initial blast of a CME event, if you're reading it on my if it was a big CME event, if you're watching it on my show, let's say it'd probably be a little too late. I'd like to know how your laptop or desktop survived. Anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah, I've got a lot of different news to cover for you. Of course, Ferguson and what's going on with that is probably one of the upfront first things that I would probably want to focus on and do. I have let's see. I believe this is the link here. I have several things for you. One of the things I have, okay, now I know why I have this. Last night I was watching the live streams, right? And I've been watching them all night, and probably what I will do tonight after the news, I'm going to do some Ferguson stuff first, then I'm going to move on to other news, and then what I plan on doing is at 8 o'clock or roughly right thereafter, if we run a little over or so, what I will do is I will shut this broadcast down, and I will reopen a broadcast. I'll put the link up on the Facebook, the Watchman news page on the Facebook, as well as my personal Facebook. And, of course, you'll see it live, a new live show being created on the YouTube channel. So, any which way, I will shut down. I will come back up. And I will, what I will have is it will be all coverage of Ferguson, and I probably won't say much. I'll probably have my mic muted for the most part, just play audio from the different protest screens, and get a little bit of documentation of the different media that's out there and press that's out there. It got a little tense once again for the press, which doesn't surprise me. It seems to me like they're trying to oppress and push the press away from this stuff. It just seems to me that they want to be able to have and do this police brutality unadulterated, just, you know, and the only way they're going to be able to do that is if there's nobody there, nobody documenting what's going on. So without further ado, let me show you what happened to Tim Pool. And if you're not familiar with Tim Pool, where I first seen him doing journalism at was at Occupy Wall Street, and he is an amazing journalist. I mean, he has to be one of the most impressive journalists I have ever seen. Tim Pool is just really, really good at what he does. And anyway, once again, he got, well, this would almost be a light level of assault last night by the police. And without further ado, let me get that screen up, and I will show you what experience he had last night. It was rather interesting.
So these people here are being ordered to disperse, but straight down this way, the police aren't allowing anyone to go further because they're locking down the area. So I'm not entirely sure where they expect these people to go. Not responsible for language.
I apologize.
All right, something's going on. The police are now moving around McDonald's.
If you are not credentialed media, you need to disperse. Do it now.
Put them guns up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
If you are the media, you need to stay within your designated area.
Designated area. The media and protesters are both supposed to have designated areas. That totally violates the First Amendment. Totally violates it.
If you are the media, you need to move back to the media area near the command post. Please do it now. There is a lane of traffic open for you to move back to the media area near the command post. Do it now.
So we're basically the last reporters left behind the security zone that's designated for media.
All media need to move back to the designated media area near the command
Whereas
post.
protesters have been told by police they need to disperse.
There is a lane of traffic open for you to move to the designated media area near the command post.
It really sucks to feel like we have a way out.
Yep, you're passing.
Credentials. Come on. Come on up, please. Come on up. Quickly, please. Pick up the pace. Come on. Go.
All media needs to move back to the media area.
I'm with them. I lost it once they shot it.
Well, you're not getting through. You're not getting through without credentials. This doesn't mean shit. We need to see real credentials.
Near the command post.
I lost it when they were shooting bullets.
That's not my problem.
I'm with Vice. I'm with these guys.
We're
We're all
live.
together. Our car's here. We're together.
You're all together?
Yes, and we're also live right now.
I don't care that we're live. I'm just wanting to see credentials. This anybody can have. All right? Very good. Go on through.
Thank you.
Come on.
He just tore his press tag. It's held on by Velcro.
There, go there. Go in there. Go in there.
Off my chest.
Hey, man.
So
Back behind the car.
they just ripped this off my chest. Said this is no good, and they weren't going to let me in. But
All media need to immediately move back to the media area near the command post. Please do it now. There is a lane of traffic open for you to utilize.
Hey, hey. Back up. Back up.
So it seems to me like what they are doing is they are trying to find reasons to get the press away from whatever particular scene. And this is nothing new, and they typically always use safety as the reason why you have to get away, and it's pretty bogus, and it gets kind of old after a while. They're constantly coming up with reasons on why you can't be a particular place, and it's ridiculous because, again, they're playing on the safety thing, that it's for the safety of the media. And I believe you're going to see this more so in the near future. I really believe you're going to see them using safety as a reason for why media can't be there. Safety is the reason why they can't protest. I think you're going to see that there's going to be an absolute stop of doing anything whatsoever as far as being able to protest or anyone being able to cover the protest. And it's going to get, I think, to a point of ridiculousness. I mean, it already has, but I mean, I think it's going to get to a point. We'll see. We'll see what happens tonight. I have a feeling that tonight maybe they're going to be kept back from the beginning, and they'll be told, well, no, you can't go there because of safety. However, I do know that Joe Biggs from InfoWars, he got there, I believe it was last night at some point. I'm sure he'll probably be there tonight covering it. I'm sure Tim and the rest of his crew will be there covering it, along with others. And that's why after this show is over with, I'm going to go down. So this, this show will come up by itself, and then I will come back up and do a live broadcast of different feeds, and that'll go probably on into the night. And I'll probably document anything and everything I can until things settle back down. I'm always up watching this stuff, and I probably should have been doing that before, but I hadn't. And I will be doing it tonight, so that way that anyone that's interested in watching right after this show, I'll take the live broadcast down. I will come back up with another new live broadcast, and it will be just coverage of Ferguson and what's going on there. So anyway, I want to go on to the next piece of video that I have for you, and it was about Ferguson last night. The children, and I mean they just tear gassed indiscriminately, and as you will see in the video, there wasn't anything being done to provocate the police to do this. Now this is what, 3 nights in a row now that the police just literally attacked people, just attacked the people. They made excuses that they were doing this or doing that or doing the other thing, and then they just move in. Just look for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Let me get the right screen up here. The link is down in the About tab.
What are they doing? Why are they doing that, yo? What the fuck?
Sorry for any language.
What are they doing? Jared!
Complex News, I'm Jinx. As I reported before, they fired on us. They fired smoke or tear gas canisters on us as we were here. I mean, there were women and children out here, families. The press area is right here. They fired from further down West Florissant onto everyone. There's people. I mean, there's people still holding their breath. Our lungs burned. Our entire crew. We ran further down. I can't even tell what she can say. We ran down the street to get away. They continued to fire after us. I mean, people cleared out. There's a canister right here. This is supposed to be the safe zone that they set up. It's supposed to be safe out here. I mean, the curfew isn't for a couple hours. There were civilians out here. Upon trying to get entry back, we talked for 25 minutes yelling at them, saying that we were pressed, speaking calmly and yelling. Either option, saying that we were pressed. They would not let us through. The only members of the press that they did let through happened to be white. Upon that, we finally convinced them that we were pressed while they aimed guns at us. We had to pull our credentials out, our IDs out to prove it. They let us slip through. And meanwhile, right now, they've moved in on the populace here. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure who's down there. Now using sonic cannons, they emit a high-pitched noise that can cause nausea, extreme headaches, deafness. I don't know why they did it. I guess we'll know soon. All right, right, so as you can see, we took our shirts off and put them around our mouths to hide from the tear gas. The police are now forcing press back behind the intersection of Canfield and West Ferguson. There's a fire at the Quick Trip. They're completely unorganized. They aimed, 2 officers came up and aimed at the press. Yeah, there's more shots down Canfield. As you can see, they mobilized down this way. It's crazy. As you can see down here, there's a whole bunch of bricks that they placed in the middle of the street. Civilians took bricks from right over here by this public storage and placed them in the street to try to prevent tactical armored vehicles from getting through. The vehicles drove right over them and continued to advance farther down West Forest and towards the Quick Trip. Okay, so we're finally catching our breath again. Again, we're still not sure what ignited all this, but we've seen what's transpired. You can still hear gunshots going off all around the area, most likely from civilians. You can still hear gas canisters being launched into the public. There's an audible sound coming from the loudspeakers from the police force. Local SWAT is here, and they've been requested down the block. There's a lot going on.
Again, the link is down in the About tab if you'd like to read that article or watch that again. Very, very crazy. It is obvious that they are trying to intimidate the press and get the press to where they won't cover this. I know their tactics.
Complex News, I'm Jason, and we're still reporting on site here in Ferguson, Missouri.
Hang on a minute.
The peaceful protests that took place throughout the day Friday involving Ferguson residents.
They obviously are trying to intimidate the press from being down there. We've seen the same thing at Occupy Wall Street. However, I will say that this is a much more attempt to be able to achieve that. It's scary, to be quite honest. I imagine that these members of the media, most of them, have to be scared out of their minds. I am very glad that there are some bold professional media out there, like Tim Pool, like his crew, like Joe Biggs. I am so glad that they are down there, because they aren't going to just walk away so easily, like I believe the police would like them to. I believe the police would like them to be in a state of fear and just walk away. There's an article, I've got it listed, police come under, well, it's police come under heavy fire. I guess you guys might like to see it too, huh? There we go. Police came under heavy gunfire and 31 people were arrested, authorities said on Tuesday, in a racial unrest in Ferguson, Missouri. Look at the dates here. Okay. That would have been on Monday. It is Tuesday. I had to double check that myself. That would have been on Monday. This would have been last night, I do believe. Yeah. Anyway, not a single bullet was fired by officers. Well, let me finish that. Sparked by the fatal shooting of an unarmed black teenager by a white policeman 10 days ago. By the way, as a little wake-up call, this has gone on longer than the LA riots. The LA riots were 6 days. We are now on the 11th day. Today would be the 11th day, I do believe. This article should have been yesterday or from yesterday. Anyway, regardless, not a single bullet was fired by officers despite coming under heavy attack on Monday night. State Highway Patrol Captain Ron Johnson told a news conference, adding that police had confiscated 2 guns from protesters. By the way, I've seen a picture of those guns on Reddit, and they happen to be 2 Taurus guns. I don't know if they were actually the 24/7 line or the Pro line. They look to be 9mm. If I'm not mistaken, one of them was like the stainless slide, and the other one had the black painted slide. I personally like that particular firearm. I like the .45 caliber version of it. The family did own one when there was a family, and it's no longer. However, very good firearm. If anybody's looking for a mid-priced or whatever handgun, I would definitely say, especially a Generation 3 Taurus PT-145 Pro is a excellent way to go. Excellent way to go. Anyway, let's get back to, I sound like I'm a salesman or something. Demonstrations, mostly peaceful, but with spasms of violence by smaller groups, have flared since Michael Brown, 18, was shot dead during an incident with a policeman in a patrol car while walking down a residential street in Ferguson on August 9th. Obama urges restraint. This is the part of it that I wanted to get to. On Monday, U.S. President Barack Obama said that the vast majority of protesters in Ferguson were peaceful, but warned that a small minority was undermining justice for the Brown, who was shot 6 times, including twice in the head, by a white police officer. Obama urged restraint on the part of both law enforcement and protesters. To a community in Ferguson, this is rightly hurting and looking for answers. Let me call once again for us to seek some understanding rather than simply holler at each other, Obama told a news conference. Let's seek to heal rather than wound each other. Obama said that anger over the death of the 18-year-old was understandable, but condemned the violence and theft that had taken place during the protests. The president said he was sending Attorney General Eric Holder to meet with FBI and other officials carrying out an independent federal investigation into Brown's death. He said that he also had told Missouri Governor Jay Nixon he wanted to ensure the use of National Guard and help calm tensions in Ferguson must be limited in scope, and said he would be monitoring that operation in the coming days to see whether the Guard's involvement was helping or hurting. There's no excuse for any excessive action by police or any action that denies people the right to protest peacefully, Obama said. The ongoing confrontation with military-style vehicles rolling through the suburban streets has left Americans and others wondering how such a warlike scene could play out in the country's heartland. So, they're doing damage control is what they're doing. And I think you're going to continue to see damage control in the coming days. And I think you're going to continue to see misinformation. I think you're going to continue to see lots of what I would think are ugly, ugly things myself. It's just going to happen. There's nothing we can, there's really nothing we the people have a choice on with any of it right now, and until we all stand up, until we say enough, we don't want to live under this this type of rule that you intend us to, because that's basically what it's a matter of. It's really sad what this country is coming to. It's really, really sad. Got other news. Had something come in. I wanted to check the Reddit feed. Give me 1 second here. Let me change tabs on that. There we go. I wanted to check the Reddit feed. I just noticed that I had some new things up there. And there we go. Let's see. Out here for the night shift. Easily several dozen marching out on the sidewalks. The protests are definitely still going on. We do have a little bit of live video off to the side here. Man upset about keep rocking rule. This isn't a parade. Police say they're just following governor's orders. Yeah, just following orders, folks. We're just following orders. 2 arrests on West Forest, and one was for laying in the street with his arms up. Looks like the police are enforcing the must keep moving rule. Street prayer service at the one side of the St. Louis City Police involved shooting of a man with a knife. Yeah, there was a shooting today in St. Louis. Another shooting apparently was a man with a knife. I do believe he is deceased. So for details of that, you could probably check the local news there. I've been keeping up on what's going on and trying to dig into a few stories from last night. Anyway, I just wanted to double check that Reddit. I saw that it popped up that there was a new notification there. So let's get on with some other news. Islamic State booby traps massive Iraqi dam which could kill thousands if breached. The American-backed offensive to recapture Iraq's biggest dam slowed on Monday as fighters from the Islamic State rigged part of the area with booby traps and remotely triggered bombs. Whilst a series of airstrikes by American F-18 fighter jets reportedly sent most of the jihadists fleeing from the central parts of Mosul Dam, a network of landmines and planted explosives they left behind impeded Kurdish ground forces from recapturing the strategically vital terrain. The jihadists have escaped from their positions beside the water pumps, the most important levers for the dam, said General Kawani, spokesman for the Kurdish Special Forces. But we cannot enter the area because of the explosives. Kurdish Peshmerga, Iraqi government troops, and the United States joined forces over the weekend in an offensive to regain control of Mosul Hydroelectric Dam on the Tigris River, a structure that provides water and electricity to hundreds of thousands of Iraqis in the region. The dam, which holds back 11 billion cubic meters of water and produces over 1,000 megawatts of electricity, has the potential to be used as a weapon of mass destruction, experts have warned. If the dam is intentionally damaged or even just not properly maintained, it could unleash a 60-foot-high wall of water that would submerge Mosul, Iraq's second largest city, drowning hundreds and thousands of people and flooding parts of Baghdad. On Monday, U.S. fighter jets launched over 15 airstrikes in areas around the dam, continuing the biggest U.S. offensive in Iraq since it pulled its troops from the country in 2011. So basically, we're going in, we're bombing. They are claiming that the jihadists are running. They're claiming that the situation is getting better over there. We can only hope. We can only hope that it is. I mean, especially with what was going on with the Christians over there, that was absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The Iraqi militants have been threatening revenge. You probably heard this on, I believe I've seen it even on some mainstream websites and stuff. They've got a video here we're going to play.
يا لا لا يا لا لا لي يا لا لا يا لا لا لي يا لا لا يا لا لا لي يا لا لا يا لا لا يا لا لا يا لا لا لي 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 يا لا لا يا لا.
Yep. Oh, okay. Good. I was making sure it didn't have that video. Iraqi militants have threatened to respond to U.S. airstrikes by attacking American targets, posting a video in which they warn, "We will drown all of you in blood." The video, which shows a photograph of an American who was beheaded during the U.S. occupation of Iraq, warned the group will attack Americans in any place if its strike hit any of its fighters. Unlike Al-Qaeda, IS has, to date, followed on seizing land in Iraq and Syria for its self-proclaimed caliphate, rather than attacking Western targets. The chilling message, which is in English, came as fighting resumed at Mosul Dam in northern Iraq, according to Sky sources. Barack Obama last night announced Kurdish Peshmerga troops, supported by U.S. jets, had recaptured the strategically important dam. The U.S. president said Islamic State IS fighters remained a threat to Iraq and the entire region, and said Iraqis must reject them and unite by pushing them out of the lands that they have occupied. They claim to represent Sunni grievances, but they slaughter Sunni men, women, and children, he said, adding limited military missions would continue. Meanwhile, Sky News has gained exclusive access to suspected IS militants who were captured by Kurdish fighters. The trio are being held in a secret location, claiming they were tortured into making confessions. David Cameron insisted Britain would not be dragged into another war in Iraq to fight what he called monstrous jihadists. He spoke out after it emerged the UK had briefly sent a number of ground troops to Erbil to prepare for a rescue mission to help displaced Yazidi people. A strongly worded statement followed confusion over Britain's involvement in Iraq after a series of media interviews by senior ministers. I want to be absolutely clear to you that the families watching at home, Britain is not going to get involved in another war in Iraq, the Prime Minister said on a televised address. We're not going to be putting boots on the ground. We are not going to be sending in the British Army. Mr. Cameron's pledge followed comments by Defense Secretary Michael Fallon, who said the UK's latest involvement in Iraq would likely last weeks and months. So, there you have it. There you have it. I think we had another update going on over here. Everyone's favorite hate group made the road trip, apparently. You know who that is. Goodness. Fun, fun, fun. You gotta love it. Why not? Not supposed to hate. Might as well just love it. Oh, folks. What are we gonna do? What are we going to do? Let's pull up a little bit of audio here. We've got 15 minutes left. I didn't have a lot of news stories. I thought I had more news stories than that for you. I really thought I did. Let's pull up a little bit of audio and see what's going on down there on the ground.
Mainstream media can afford to have bias. Can't take it off. I think for the state bias. I gotta walk around out here.
You guys support what I'm doing? Post this on Facebook.
It was for my people, for my people.
Y'all camera shy? Y'all care if I film? Y'all mind if I film? You good with it? I'm live streaming. It's a live video feed that goes out to the internet.
I wrote a song today. It was for my people to say. We can't be killing each other.
Clear attentional cars for 1191. There's probably a few agitators in that crowd that need to be evacuated from there.
It was for my people.
1191, you said you wanted contact with the sergeant on how to deal with that.
Killing each other, not people that we losing. My
car 3.
Scary for real. What the fuck
No
justice! I'm a son of a boat ride. My people selling running to the office. And I smile in that face and then take a shit with your life. And tell me that's the reason that we're struggling just right. I got a lot of folks to know about emancipation and how that whole little speech.
We're live protest, Ferguson, Missouri.
Hands nation, hands up! Hands up! No justice! No justice!
This is what peaceful protest looks like, right? Absolutely.
No justice! No justice! No justice!
So is this your first time out here?
My first time.
Yeah, this is my third. I did my first one at when it was at the Ferguson Police Department that Monday.
Okay, on Monday? All right, awesome.
This is my second here in West Florida.
Okay, so you plan to keep covering this?
I suspect the same as last night, you will see more and more protesters show up as it starts to get dark. For some reason, the last several nights, and the same happened with Occupy Wall Street as well. There was a lot of people that showed up for the night, during the night, versus doing the day protest, even though that's kind of what they want. I don't know what to tell them, you know? So anyway, we're just listening to some audio from from the Mike Brown protest. Again, I will be at 8 o'clock. I will take this show down. I will come back up immediately with another live show, and what I will do, I probably won't be speaking too much, but I will put up multiple screens so that you can watch yourself, and I can document as well the events that happen. So figured I would do that. There are, of course, as you see, places to watch these streams yourself. I just wanted to have a collaboration of different screens, as you see, like others do as well. So I'm not the only one that will be doing this. I just will be another one that will be doing this. There's not a lot of my seed that's actually doing live broadcasts on YouTube via Google Hangouts to bring this stuff to you. Most of them use live stream or Ustream. We all stream for live streams, I guess. But anyway, they often use live stream or Ustream. I will be using Google Hangouts via YouTube, just in case. It's just another method and another place to document the events. Because several nights in a row now, we have seen to where there were false claims as to what started the confrontations, and we need to get as much of that as possible. It happened a lot before, once again, during Occupy Wall Street, and there was lots of documentation there too. You really never heard about any of that, except like when arrests were made and whatnot. A lot of those people had went to court and actually filed suit and won suits against like New York City Police Department and whatnot, for the way that they had handled those that were just using their First Amendment right. So, and I'm sure you'll see that happen again with this. So, looks like we got something coming up on the Reddit deal again. I'm looking for that window. I only got 5 million windows up. That happens. Okay. Mayor Slay dispatched Slate. I guess it's an organization. Mayor Slay dispatched Slate here to connect people with job opportunities. So now it's a job fair, right? It's a protest and it's a job fair. That works, right? That works. I guess I could show you that that image that I'm looking at. One moment here. Change screens. There you go. That would be what I'm looking at. The live feed for riot and protest in Ferguson, Missouri. Scanner reports, news links. That's what I've been watching on Reddit. I've been watching it for several days now. They've been doing an excellent job. But anyway, that's the particular image. Jesse Jackson was at McDonald's, by the way. You guys might be interested in that. Let's see if I can find that image here. And if I can find that image, I'll be more than happy to post it for you all. I kind of thought it was funny myself. It's an image I edited, so, what can I say? It's my fault. Blame me. If people in suits come to the house, I'm not home. Let's see, images. I think it's in here. There would be. How's this? You think this gets the point across? Jesse Jackson, not loving it. Anyway, we all got to be goofy sometimes, right? So anyway, I expect the same thing like last night. I expect just some calm protests. It'll probably be pretty short after I get off the air here from this show that the craziness will begin. Again, that's why I'm going to take this show down at 8 o'clock, and then I will come back up and just be broadcasting live streams from multiple locations. I probably won't be saying much. I'll be playing the audio that comes across on the live streams and documenting it, witnessing it for myself, just like I have been doing for many nights. So, wow, it's last night it got pretty crazy last night, especially when them shots were fired. I was watching live when that happened. I was watching Tim Pool's stream when the shots started ringing out, and it's so hard to tell exactly what went on. And then there's always so many rumors, so much speculation that goes on afterwards. They did say what all had happened over the night. Yeah, it got a little crazy, and I'm just like I had predicted it was going to. I'm going to predict again. It's just going to keep getting crazier and crazier and crazier because they are trying to fix the problem with the wrong solution. You know, they're upset at the police. They're upset at the government. I don't, you know, the people that are involved in these, if you want to call it riots. It's hard to call it riots. It's hard, you know, what you're looking at now is protest. But what happens after it gets dark, I don't necessarily know if I would quite call that a riot. Now, when all the looting and all that was going on, yeah, I would consider that more rioting. But rioting, I think back at the LA riots, and man, they were just taking, you know, people, just innocent people, and pulling them out of their cars and beating them half to death and stuff like that. And we're not seeing that. We are not seeing that here. Everything that's going on seems to be primarily targeted at the police department. So it almost seems more like revenge more than riot. And I think that should be taken in careful consideration of coming up with any solutions. I just think that they came up with the wrong solutions. I think the National Guard's the wrong solution. And I'll go with what I said last night. I think militia is the solution. Militia and property owners, business owners, stuff like that. If I'll tell you what, if you could line the streets up with property owners and business owners outside of their respective, you know, possessions or whatnot, armed and ready to defend themselves, their families, their possessions. The stuff wouldn't get messed with. These people would get the point. I doubt there would be a bunch of backlash at all, if any, against those people. The issue is with the police. So when people are upset about the police brutality and excessive force by the police, the last way you want to respond is with excessive force. And it's crazy because, again, I showed you at the beginning of the show how they're doing everything they can to scare the media away from reporting on this. And I'm talking about the real media. I'm not talking about CNN and MSNBC and KMOV and KSDK. You know, the ones that sit back and get the wide view camera shots and you can't really see what's going on. You just go by what the police tell you is going on. That's not media. That's not media. That's not journalism, and those aren't journalists. Your journalists are your people like Tim Pool and his crew, Joe Biggs with InfoWars. Those are your media personnel. Those that get in literally on the front lines. You know, when we have journalists that go over into war and stuff like that, at least I assume they're actually going on the front lines to get their stories. They're actually putting themselves in harm's way. And getting the story. In fact, you see, you know, and again, I don't know what's real and what's not real, you know, but you see them talking to terrorists and stuff like that, which could be show. But at the same time, if it's not, you know, they're actually putting themselves at risk. And I tip my hat to them, just like I do those here in the U.S. that do the same. And there's not many, unfortunately. We have to go to live streams and such to be able to get true media. It's ridiculous. We shouldn't have to get it that way. We really shouldn't. You pull up another image came up on Reddit here. So let's just say, well, we're starting early tonight down by the burned out Quick Trip, just gearing up. So right now, SWAT teams and police are starting to gear up in their riot gear already right now at 3 minutes till 8. So it's going to be on. You know, I think there's no doubt about it. I think it's going to be on. I'm going to edit this shot when I come back up, and I'm not going to worry about the screen behind it. I'm going to make everything to where it's at full 100% so you can't see through the pages. And then I'll leave it out. Let's listen to the audio and watch the video and see what goes on in our country. It's ridiculous. It doesn't look the same. You know, I know there's a lot of people that would argue that, you know, well, this happened during the 60s and worse things happened during the 60s, and I'm not even going to get into that debate because I wasn't there. But I am here. Well, I'm not there. We're in Ferguson, but I mean, luckily I can sit here at my computer desk and I can watch live streams from very brave people and witness it for myself. You're not going to see this stuff. The stuff that you see on these streams, you are not going to see on TV. You're not going to see it on CNN, MSNBC, KMOV, you know, any local or otherwise station. You're just not going to see it. And that's ridiculous. It's really sad. But that's what I'm going to do, folks. I'm going to go ahead and close this show down. I will bring it back up immediately. So watch the YouTube channel. Or watch the Watchman News Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. I'll put a link as soon as I get it up. It won't even take me 5 minutes, and I will have it right back up. I will be right back broadcasting. Again, I will not be saying too much, but all night long until this thing calms down, I will be updating live streams on the stream. So all you'll have to do is stay connected to my particular Google Hangout session through YouTube, and I will bring several screens to you, hopefully several viewpoints, and we can hope for the best. But I'm going to predict, just like I have previously, I think it's going to get a little bit worse tonight. I don't think it's going to get better. I think it's going to get worse. And it's not that I wish that for anybody, but I think that's what's going to happen. And to be quite honest, there's no way, other than what's going on, that we are going to be able to continue to keep our rights in this country. They've done everything they can to take away our First Amendment right, Second Amendment right, Fourth and Fifth, and I mean, you name it. They've done everything they can to take away our rights, and we have to say enough. We've got to draw that line somewhere. The unfortunate, sad thing is the way our police forces have been militarized and weaponized. We aren't going to have an easy task of it. And we've already seen a lot of foul play. We've already seen them use excuses that bottles were thrown that weren't thrown, or this or that or the other thing. And then they just move in and attack peaceful people. And, I mean, there's video proof of it. What else can you say? I mean, and I don't see any of that video proof being played on mainstream media. I just wanted to add that. Anyway, let me get this down, bring it right back up, and you can enjoy live video from different perspectives throughout Ferguson for the evening. May God bless you. May He walk with you. Be one with your spirit. I love you all, and I will be right back up. Thanks for watching. Good night.
I just realized I totally left both of my waters in the Walgreens parking lot. Oh well. Things happen.